How you doing? How you doing? How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Patty, and you might be going, "Oh, Patty, you got a new toy." I did. I did. I got a new toy. So I got a Amazon gift card for my birthday the other week. We got ourselves a little microphone arm. I can move it all around. We've got some options now. It's a beautiful time to be alive. You can also see the white trash thing that I've already had to do to make it work like it does on the picture. I, it happens, but we got a new toy. And some of you very astute people might be going, Patty, you're missing a piece. You're almost not wrong. It's not missing. It's right here. But if I put that on, I wouldn't see this pretty gold color that we got right there. And just a little PSA to everybody. Your boy Patty, it's a little Patty. He gets an unbridled amount of joy from looking at that. So unless the audio quality is so horribly awful that everyone hits the unsubscribe button immediately, I'm gonna probably just rock this for a little while because I'm vain and petty, and we just I like it. I like it. So I appreciate y'all. Also, thank you for everybody for all the birthday wishes and everything. You guys are the best. But we're going to go ahead and just jump into the video today. I wanted to kind of come back to allies because we haven't really talked about them too much since like the first week or two of the game where we gave a real basic intro. So I kind of want to do more in-depth thing, talk a little bit more about certain things, and try and give some perspective and advice that's going to be applicable to everybody. There will eventually one day be an ally tier list. I swear to God, it will happen. It's a little difficult to do for a couple of reasons. Number one, the information is very hard to come by. Everybody has bonds with certain characters. Those bond benefits are different from character to character. So let me show you real quick. So our boy Ming here has bonds with Luminous, has bonds with Zero, has bonds with Nixie. Alright, if you look at what those bonds were, when we go and look at them, their bonds back to that other person are not the same. So they change from each character. And it's a little difficult to find out what everybody's bonds are because there's no, database or list that has all of them and all of their abilities. I've got a folder that is slowly filling up with screenshots of ones that I'm able to get, but that is a slow roll. If you actually want to help Petty out with that, let me show you real quick. So if we go in here and look at family, if you have any person that you see not lit up on this, please hit me up with on Discord, and a couple of screenshots would be awesome. Essentially, really all I need is is the skills, and then like I don't need a screenshot of every single one of these, but if write out, like Luminous, or like, Bond, Luminous, magic attack increase, little list or something, that would be cool. I actually have a good number of them already. Let me actually just go to the list, tell you from memory the best I can. Pretty sure we clicked on gallery, but okay. So I've gotten screenshots for Chisei, Johan, Nono, Erie. Oh, and I want to say this version of Ruri, but I don't think I've gotten. Actually, I think I do. I have gotten him. I don't have any info on Zero, Caesar, Anju. I'm pretty sure. So we're missing a few. So if you have any of those and you'd like to share a little bit of information with Patty, Patty would really appreciate it. But it's, so the difficulty on finding information on all of them to be able to compile, a tier list is one issue, big issue. Second issue is going to be that it changes from class to class because there's certain benefits, that allies will have with either their passive or their skills that are going to be more beneficial to one class than the other. So it's hard to nail down like this would be the absolute best for everybody. Because again, it's going to differ on what everyone has and what class they're playing. So instead of a tier list, I would rather do a more in-depth discussion on the allies, how to try and get the most benefit out of them, and then just kind of working it from that way backwards. So biggest thing that I want to talk about real quick, and this is important because we have an event going on right now where you can get the party allies. So these are cool, but they're not a great investment in my opinion. So you don't see a lot of people on the China side using these. And one of the biggest issues is the fact that the bonds aren't shared with any of them except the other party ones. And then to advance them, you need the specific party gems to be able to advance them in the first place. So they're going to be super difficult to level up and advance them, and you kind of need to really start getting all the strongest benefits that you can from them. So if we look at my Ming real quick, once I get him up, I'm getting almost 2,000 more on my ultimate right there, and then this is going up to 60% from 30, so it's doubling in strength, and that's going to take 90. That's going to take 90 of these gems. It's very expensive to advance all of your allies. So it's important to be careful when you start working on those. Because if you just blow through all of them, it's going to be a while before you can really get them back up again. In about the month and a half that I've been playing, and again, I don't spend money on the game. If I had it, I might. We on broke boy season right now. So I've been able to advance Ming twice. He's only tier 2 right now. And it gets exponentially more expensive. The way you get the gems the fastest is through dismantling. The chances of getting a 5 or 6 star that you have varies depending on how many you've pulled and how much you've dumped into it, but either way, that's a big hill to get across. So it's a very slow process of advancing these guys. If you're a free-to-play player and you don't have a 6 star and it's every 3 weeks that you're able to save up enough for a 10 pull, and you don't care about 6 stars at all, be careful about which one of the 5 stars you invest these in. You want to look for ones that have essentially whatever's the most beneficial substat to your class being added on it. So multi-strike is going to be the best for assassins. If you don't know what your best is, go to your profile over here in the corner, and there will be an M next to whatever is the recommended stat for your class. So magic attack and MS is going to be the best for assassins. So an ally like Zero is going to be really beneficial because her multi-strike, she has a multi-strike bonus on that, and then on her ultimate skill, it also boosts multi-strike on that for 10 seconds. So a couple little things, that add up and do a nice little bit for you. If we go in here, we'll go ahead and actually, so for my free summon on both party and the just regular pulls, I got 0 on both of those today. So I was like, okay, we're making an ally video today because we got to crunch these. Once you crunch these, you'll get the following stuff from it. Piece of info, you'll stack these up, and then after you have a couple hundred, you'll be able to buy certain allies outright. So this helps, if you are just unlucky, stacking these long enough will be able to get you something good. But you're only getting 10 of these gems every time you pull it, so it is slow going to get these guys up. So, I mean, one of the biggest takeaways from this that I obviously keep stressing is careful with them gems. Make sure you're putting your advancements into something that's going to be really worthwhile for you and something you're going to use for a really long time. 4 stars, obviously, you're not going to have that big of a issue with. Every time you move up a 4-star, usually only its ultimate's getting better. I think this is our highest one. So let's just for fun. What's on the next one? Just a stronger single skill. So you're not really gonna get more things like you do on the higher ratings. When I upgraded her before I pulled any 6 stars, again I wasted so many resources early on. But when she went up to tier 2, she got the new passive and everything. So if you're a blade master, you want to be looking for AP on your allies and everything. There's not always going to be that benefit, but usually they're gonna have something that they end up getting. So you wanna keep an eye out for stuff like that. You see, he would be a pretty solid 5-star for blade masters. Another thing that is helpful but easy to look over. A lot of things that can drop out of nothing on that one. Really, that's rough. So you'll get items and everything that increase the stats of your ally. You only get 12% of whatever that is. So realistically, you're getting a little over 100 HP from getting this and equipping it onto something, and then 6 magic defense. So it's not a lot, but all of that adds up. So definitely make sure that you're doing your bounties and everything. Even if you're not sending out great teams, you'll eventually get them levels from doing this, get them higher up, and they'll start getting those items, and it'll be beneficial to you. I wouldn't worry about, especially if you're early game, spending any resources to level them up, because they'll just level from going in. See, like, these are the 4 stars that get sent in with my stuff. They're doing okay. They're getting some levels. Obviously, I've only put resources into leveling up my main people. Do not use these leveling resources on anything under a 5-star. Even if you only have 4 stars, save them. The game gives you a good amount of them when you're starting out, and you get them at a pretty decent pace, so it's easy to build up a nice stockpile of them. You're really going to benefit the most early on from sinking them into a very strong ally once you get them. So I kind of did that with Ming. I wasted a good amount in other places. 0, it was my first 5-star. Let me go back real quick. Then I got Korge. I'm just gonna skip right past that. And Eva, and so I put a little bit into them when I didn't need to. I definitely wish that I had saved for Ming, because if I hadn't done that, I'd probably be maybe around 80 with his level, and with the amount of benefit that I'm getting from his buff, another 8 levels on that could potentially be another 1,000 to 1.52k of these buffs, and that is huge. Huge. So don't waste your experience stuff on 4 stars. Another thing that I was being told early on in the game, and it seemed pretty reliable because we were having ally events basically every other week. But the idea that there's a free 5-star pull every weekend, that is not currently live in the game. That is something that I potentially believe is live in the China version. So I believe it's something that will eventually come out as like a quality of life update. But that is currently not the case. So you're saving your 10s. You can get pull only 7 when the events roll around. I wouldn't recommend using them on the party events. We've had one event so far that was just an ally event in general, and you could unlock and buy a bunch from the store. I would wait and use them on events like that because those were, that had the same guaranteed 5-star and a 10 pull on just the regular summons. So just a little something to keep in mind. Let's see, is there anything else that we want to kind of touch on with this? No, not terribly. I will say that from a lot of what I've heard from people that are experienced with the China side, is that Ming is amazing early game, mid game, and then starts to fall off once we start getting much higher level. I think we actually touched on that on the video recently, so I don't want to spend too much time on that. But Luminous and Caesar are the two that I've heard get used very, very much for the number of bonds that they have, and it just scaling very well once the stats are much, much, much higher. So like right now, this is absolutely amazing because I have maybe 20k or 15k of some of these stats in the first place. So getting another 12 to 10k is huge. When we're at China's at 105 right now. When we're level 105 and we have potentially 90k, that won't be as beneficial. So I can see that logic. But that's also a year away, so I'm gonna use my Ming very, very much. And Ming is still one of the highest used people on the China side. But he isn't, numero uno top spot. All right. No, I think that just about covers it. Let me know if you guys have any more ally questions in general. I try to touch on a lot of the ones that we get questions about regularly in the comments and everything, as well as just kind of going a little bit more into some of the stuff on it. So let me know if there's anything left out, anything that you have a question about. And yeah, it's been your boy Patty. We'll catch you on the next one, guys. Deuces.